Well, hello, dear viewer, drinking some more beer again with your loving Unclejona. And today we're going to do another one from Siren's 10th birthday. Got to get rid of these beers because it's been a few months, so trying to get through these ones. And I've got another one due soon, so maybe there will be another unboxing video coming up. Right, we're going to be doing, it is an actual pure Siren one as far as I think, dun dun dun, and it's called Activate Deadline Mode, and it's part of a special series which is called the Siren Time Hop series. I believe I had some Time Hop ales at the GBBF a couple of years ago, and absolutely nuts. Anyway, the blurb says, in 10 years of brewing, Siren have done some serious amounts of IPA. Not being funny, but they are known for their IPAs. Oh, shouldn't do that because it puts the writing out of focus. This one is like a highlights reel. Simcoe and Citra being punchy tropical fruit aromas. The mouthfeel is soft and moorish. There's depth of flavour from the Vermont house yeast. Finishes with a signature unshamed resinous bitterness. Citra and Simcoe, tropical citrusy, etc., etc. Ridiculously hoppy and fruity from the look of the spider diagram. God, you know what? I really miss the spider diagrams. And yeah, happy birthday to Siren. Although they're probably about 10 and a half now. Here we go. Here is said can. See if it focuses there. Activate Deadline Mode IPA. Sort of weird, angular, kind of futuristic, weird style can, like they always are. It is 5.5%, 330 can. Stay away from the pregnant ladies, especially when you're drinking, because it will get you into trouble. We have got a black top. We have got a silver bottom. This has been in the fridge for at least a week because I was worried about these beers, especially the really hoppy ones, because I don't want any more gushers. Oh. Right, what have I gone for? Oh, yes, gone for the older kind of. I always think these kind of glasses are more for stouts and things, but you never know. Right, pouring reasonably clear. Let's see if there's anything right at the end. No, bit of a haze there, but that is not too bad. Definitely a finger's worth of fluffy head, but let's do one of these. And then smile. Boom, we'll put that at the beginning. Like we usually do, dear viewer, on this channel. Yeah, resinous hops, very grassy, very hedgerow. Very nice. And look at that. It is hazy, not quite cloudy, somewhere in the middle, a hazy cloud. How about that? And the head itself, lovely, fluffy white head. Look at the bubbles there. Definitely carbonation bubbles, not nitro bubbles. Oh, now, while we're spinning away, let's see if this has got, let's put it up here, and then you guys can see as well. I'm looking for, dun, 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 the ingredients. There we go. So we've got some oats, we've got some wheat in there. This is definitely going to be one of those kind of new style, not quite NEPA IPAs, but not far off. And this is Siren's version. Nice. Bit of grapefruit in there too, perhaps. Cheers and beers, guys. If you're new to the channel, click like and subscribe down below. Really does make a difference. If you're an old hand at this kind of thing, please leave me a comment down below because it really does help the metrics. There is no such thing as a stupid question, and for me there's no such thing as a stupid answer. So fill your boots. Cheers and beers. Whoa. Whoa. Very hoppy, very zesty. Grapefruit, it is that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a juicy kind of one, which is what I get from Simcoe. Um, what was the other one? Was it Citra? I think it was. And that's kind of, yeah, Citra and Simcoe. Classic kind of new style hop combination. Quite a lot of carbonation as well up front. So you're getting a zing from the carbonation itself, perhaps causing a bit of carbonic acid, perhaps, but you're getting full of that zesty stuff. And then it goes a bit kind of grapefruity juicy, which Simcoe usually does. Wow, pardon me. I would say, because it's got wheat and oats in there, I would say this one's got more wheat in it. Because to me, the oats always gives me a creamy kind of thing going on. I'm not getting this from this beer. But as you can see, it's got a bit of haze, partly probably because of the yeah, the wheat in there, maybe a tiny bit of the oats, but probably predominantly the wheat. But also, there's going to be shed loads of hops in this, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's dry hopping as well, because the aroma is quite pronounced too. I'm trying to think about the yeasty thing going on. I mean, it's hard to tell. Is it the hops? Is it the yeast? Is it an interaction between the two? Is it malt? Is there any other adjuncts in there? I don't think there is, but could be. You know what? I love beer. I really do love beer. Cheers and beers. Oh, oh, this time the zestiness is there, but it's instantly followed by greenery. It's really interesting. You've got zest, like a grapefruity zest kind of thing, basically a citrusy thing, but it's definitely from the Simcoe. But you're getting that kind of green hedgerow, grassy kind of thing, which is always that I get from Citra, kind of mixed together. It's like, but then the interaction of the yeast at play too. Like I say, I'm not tasting the yeast so much, but perhaps the yeast is at play because it's mixing with the kind of hops and the hop oils and that kind of thing, and causing other good things to happen. I know for a fact that Siren plays with thiols. They're definitely more into the interactions between the yeast and the hops that they use. Perhaps the malts as well. But I think it's the hop oil interaction with the yeast that mainly causes these really crazy flavors. Well, pardon me, dear viewer. It's unlike me to belch so much. But this is not the first beer I've had tonight. Um, Look at that. There are some selfishly fat lines there, up here, and then the second one is there. Hopefully, I'll get a third one, and perhaps even a fourth, depending on how much beer is left. Maybe this is the final sip. Not sure. But yeah, this is definitely a zesty bad boy. Lots of hop oil in here. Verdant yeast, I think is a Lallemand yeast, if I remember rightly, which is a French yeast, I believe. And it is not necessarily one that's known for playing with thiols per se, but perhaps all yeasts do to a certain degree. Really interesting. What I mean is, you're brewing the same exact beer, same recipe, but using a different yeast, you'll probably end up with totally different flavored beer. Um, I was at a brewery yesterday, in fact, playing around with some yeast called Banana Split, and oh my god, that yeast, we got some slurry, some yeast slurry, and we ate a spoonful of it basically. Oh my God, it tasted like banana kind of what are those banana sweets? Do you remember banana candies? And they're kind of a bit chalky as well. Jesus, that's what this yeast tasted like. Absolutely obscene. If I can get hold of some, I believe the Malt Miller have some in the UK if you want to try and get some. But for making things like Hefeweizen and that kind of style beer, oh my God. And I am definitely more of a banana fan or a banana man. Um, when Eric eats a banana, he becomes no. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of banana tasting beers in the German or kind of Belgian-y type style, the Weiss beers, wit beers, that kind of shit, than the cloves. I'm definitely on the banana side. Let's see what we get here. Oh, there is the third selfish line, and there is a bit of a tail down the back there. Really, really nice beer. Unfortunately, there are lots of beers that taste like this. Dun dun dun. Activate deadline mode, IPA. And lots of beers in this style use things like Simcoe, things like Citra. If you're going New World, you're probably going to be using things like Mosaic as well. Lots and lots of beers. They kind of merge together. I remember I was in a pub not so long ago, and yeah, the guy I was drinking with, he basically called all these beers grapefruit beers because any kind of new style, NEPA style, especially brewed in the UK, for him, they all tasted like grapefruit. Um, and I kind of get what he's saying. There's a lot of quite similar beers out there, and it's a shame because what happens is when a new style comes across, everyone and their granny wants to brew that kind of beer, that kind of style. They get popular, so everyone starts brewing them. But yeah, you can't really pick out a Siren in this case from a Cloudwater, perhaps from a Vocation, from a Time and Tide. Um, all of the kind of hazy beers do, to some degree, end up tasting very similar, and it's a real shame. We should celebrate lots of different styles, and be able to go into a pub, a bar, a micro pub, wherever, and choose two or three very, very different beers instead of three beers that are near enough exactly the same. Anyway, I don't want to rant on. It is the beginning of a new week after all. It's almost the beginning of a new month too. I want you to drink as many beers as you like, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, even grapefruit beers, they do make you smarter.